Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Yeah, you know what it is. Hard worker, scrappy, unfiltered, and sometimes unhinged football content. Hard to explain, but you know it when you see it. Doing it daily our way. I don't know what you're talking about right now. Redraft and Dynasty Fantasy Football, we got you covered. You know their defense is ranked like 31st in the NFL? NFL draft prospects and rookies? Now you know you in the right place for that.
Absolutely.
All right, then stop saying it. Then we're done. And prop bets with my man JRich.
Count that money, man.
Now wipe the crust out of your eyes, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake your ass up with Ray G. You honestly are making absolutely no sense and you sound silly as hell. Let's get it. Good morning, 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 good people. It is Monday, April the 3rd, 2023. Y'all decided to wake y'all asses up with Ray G. Y'all know I appreciate y'all being in the building. Who we got in the room this morning? We got a mock from Jordan Reid, my good friend over at ESPN. Dropped a 7-round NFL mock draft on, I think it was like Thursday of last week, Jay. I think it was like Thursday of last
Thursday,
week he
Wednesday.
dropped it. Yeah, something like that. We're going to go run through. Hopefully we get through all 7 rounds of fantasy relevant positions. Highly encourage everybody out there to check out his article over on ESPN. Link is in the description. But I see my man Cody Carpentier's in the building. Scott Connor, what's up, baby? Let's start the week off strong. Blessed to be here, Scott. Blessed to have you as a part of the Destination Devy team, my friend. I see Jay Peters in the building, Raymond Morris, Ty Rush. Who we got? Dynasty Day Trader. Look at this. He's got the red bat signal. I don't know if this means he's a 49ers fan or what, but he says first time catching y'all live. Glad to be here. Glad to have you in the building. Big Jim Jean in the building. Brad, Jason, Ty, DeClaire. I saw Dynasty Barry. Jimbo. I still got beef with you, baby. I still got beef with you. We did an Underdog Superflex Live draft stream on Saturday, and Jimbo was sniping me left and right. Still got beef with my guy over there. But, man, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited for the show today, so let's go ahead and get to it. Let's get Underdog on the screen. Y'all know what we're doing with Underdog. If you want to be a part of the Destination Devy Discord community and you want access to all the tools and the sheets and all the cool stuff that we have to help you take down some of these Underdog competitions, man, you deposit 10, first time depositor, they match you up to 10, you get access to the Discord for free for the entire year. So good way to get in at a discounted cost. You actually kind of make money because you get $10 back. So it's like a risk-free way to join the community to help you take down some of these Underdog drafts. JRich, how you doing this morning, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm pumped for some of the stuff we're dropping with Underdog today. You know, we talked about a few things we want to get out to the community, some ADP data, some information that we found, the spike week data. Everyone's always asking, well, show me the warp, show me the warp, show me the warp.
Yeah.
Well, you come into the Destination Devy community, we'll talk about the warp. We'll explain it to you. We'll show you the charts. We'll help you build your dynasty rosters. And I was actually talking to Dynasty Barry yesterday about the scoring matrix, right? And how helpful it is for people who've never seen a scoring matrix, what they can do with it, how they can identify the value gaps in their league. And I think that's the value that we're really adding to our community now, is showing them so many more avenues to dynasty. Everyone says, oh, robust RB, super flex, get your quarterbacks. Like, we're literally outlining a map and a roadmap as to how you should be drafting your teams based on the format and the settings. So I think that's probably the most exciting thing for us this year. But applying that now to Underdog, the strategy behind that, we're doing a live stream for Underdog, or not for Underdog, for us, on the channel Wednesday morning. So, Ray, hopefully we can make sure Jimbo is not in that one. And maybe we can kick him out. I'm still trying to get him banned.
I got a way to get around Jimbo's ass moving forward. He ain't doing that to me again. He had me all flustered in that damn draft. But honestly, for those of y'all who are tapped into this community, enter some of those contests. They're just good to see where people are valuing said players, especially in the Superflex format, where they're valuing a Dalvin Cook and Aaron Jones, you know, some of these quarterbacks, to see. You really just get a sense of QB scarcity when you're doing these, Jay, because, I mean, I'm not joking, man. Like Kirk Cousins, Geno Smith, they're off the board by the 4th round. Off the board. Completely off. I mean, it's dirty land. I mean, after that. But did you do anything exciting this weekend, Jay, before we get into the show? Because all we're going to do is mock draft. Anything exciting before we get into it?
I did not. No, it was a pretty boring weekend for me, unfortunately. I know you were at a birthday party this weekend, right?
No, so it was my first Saturday in my dad life that my entire Saturday was just consumed by kids sporting events. My 3-year-old had a soccer game at 8 a.m. Then we had the Easter egg hunt at like 10:30. Then my oldest had his first coach pitch game, Jay. He went 2 for 2, no off the tee. Because what they do is you get 3 in a tee. So you get 3 pitches. If you can't hit the 3 pitches, they put the tee up. 2 hits, 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored for little man in his first coach pitch game, man. I got a little something on my hands, Jay. Got a little something on my hands with the little man. But let's get into this mock, man. I'm excited because we are a little over 3 weeks away from the NFL draft. And for those of y'all who don't know, I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm gonna toot our own horn. I'm gonna call it what it is. Last year, the Destination Devy draft stream, I don't care who your favorite fantasy analyst site was, we crushed them. This is where you want to be for the NFL draft, and we're going to do it all over again. Myself, JRich, of course, Scott Connor, Mike and Adam from 4D Chess, the Off the Line boys with Gene and Ike. We'll get Eric Vanek on. We'll get other guests on. But I'm telling you right now, you want to be tapped in from sun up to sundown with DD. We're going to get some cool promotional stuff popping soon. But for the NFL draft, you don't got to listen to Kuiper and those guys. Come holla at us. Come chill with us. It's a lax format, and we're going to kill it once again. So be ready for the Destination Devy draft stream coming real soon. Jay, let's do it. Jordan Reid's mock, first round. And let's just kind of talk about it, man. Let's talk about and I like when I get some analysis behind the picks, and Jay's doing that. You know, giving us the reasonings why and such and such and such and such. It's really good. Again, the link is in the description. Let's get it popping. Right now, in my opinion, no surprise. I think C.J. Stroud will be the number 1 overall pick. Got a mock to Carolina in this mock. I know they're flirting around, talking about Bryce Young, a little bit about Anthony Richardson, but I'd be hard-pressed to believe that they're going to go anywhere other than C.J. Stroud at the 101. At the 1-2 spot, the Houston Texans, according to Jordan Reid, Bryce Young, which seems to be pretty chalk right now. Houston, a lot of connections to Bryce Young, at least early in the process, Jay. It feels like that's where they're going to go. We'll see, right? We'll see. I know there's a lot more chatter about should the Texans even draft a quarterback in this draft, or should they sort of build with defense with the guy that's number 3 here in Will Anderson and try to collapse for Caleb Williams or whatever you want to call it for 2024. But first 2 picks, pretty chalk, and I think these are going to be some of the top players off of the board in super flex formats. Where it starts to get interesting is right here at 4, because Jordan Reid does have Anthony Richardson, the big, dynamic, athletic quarterback prospect out of Florida, going to the Indianapolis Colts at 4. But Jay, there's been some smoke about old Indianapolis. I know you've seen some reports. What are we hearing about the Colts right now in this pick at number 4?
I mean, they are in trouble, Ray. There's a lot of smoke around Arizona and what could happen with their pick, and I think that's the biggest problem. We talked about this once Carolina traded up. The draft really starts, I mean, assuming Houston goes quarterback, at 3. And so if you want a top 3 quarterback, you may have to go all the way up to 3. We heard about Tennessee moving up. We've heard about Minnesota potentially moving up. Now you have Indy just sitting tight. We've even seen some mocks where Indy trades up to 3 just to secure that quarterback, right? So someone else doesn't come up and take their quarterback. It's going to be really interesting. We've seen mocks where the Texans don't take a quarterback, where Arizona trades out and someone takes a quarterback, and even Indy passing on quarterback and taking one in the second round. So, and I know that you sent me this tweet. Zerline's putting out a mock later today that I'm excited to see because he said it's unlike a lot of mocks. Yeah. So I'm curious to see what his thoughts are. But I think the most interesting thing about all of this, Ray, is that Will Levis is not QB3. Like, he's not going to be. Unless something drastically changes
Jay,
based on everything we're seeing.
Jay, I threw the ball up for you to dunk it. I mean, this was an alley-oop layup I gave you. The report is Indianapolis is supposed to be zeroed in on Will Levis at 4. That was the fucking alley-oop I just threw you, and you just missed it. You went to 3.
They don't. You think they want Levis? You think they want Levis?
Man, there's buzz, Jay. You didn't see it? There's league-wide buzz that Will Levis is the pick for Indianapolis at 4.
Why is it's Ray? It's Monday morning, and you're just breaking my heart. I had the dream of JRich going to the Colts, playing with Steichen, and here you are with some bogus report no one's ever seen but you, and here we go. This is just ridiculous. So do you want to continue with Will Levis at 4?
Hold on. So
okay, what's up?
Along with that, because you kind of jumped the shark with the number 3 pick, because there are reports, Jay, and clearly you missed these as well, that the Tennessee Titans or potentially thinking about trading up
Yes.
to number 3 overall. And let me just tell y'all right now, damn it, please no, I don't want Tennessee to do it, because if they take Anthony Richardson, Jay,
you mean Malik Willis 2.0?
Well, I was gonna say you could already see the narrative coming a mile away. Wow, the Titans are gonna really take a bigger version and a less experienced version of the guy that they just took the year before, Malik Willis 2.0. What are the Titans doing? Fingers are crossed, Jay, they don't do that and take JRich. I don't want it, man. I don't want to have to hear that shit.
Could you imagine?
I can't imagine. That's why I don't want to see
roster.
it.
But then where does Tannehill go? That'd be interesting, because imagine, like, Ray, just imagine for fantasy. And I know you don't do this, but just put your mind into the projection system. How are you going to project an offense that is led by Anthony Richardson and Malik Willis in Tennessee? And heaven forbid Derrick Henry isn't there. They could be the worst team in the league. And at that point, they could potentially be on Caleb Williams' watch. If you get rid of Tannehill in Tennessee, and Henry in Tennessee, dude, they'd be one of the worst teams in the league.
Oh my gosh, Vrabel's got Willis, Burks, Anthony Richardson, just
Chiggy even.
You could see the narrative that people are just not gonna like it. I personally think the Colts and Levis are a fine fit. I really do. I am at the point now.
Levis is a Ballard guy, right? Like,
I'm at the
6'3",
point now,
220.
Jay. The Levis hate has gone too far, and it's funny because if you recall, over a year ago, we were talking about Levis a year and a half ago. Like, this guy's going to be a first-round pick. I think the hate's gone a little too far. The fantasy community, right? They want it one way and the other way. Anthony Richardson was too lackadaisical at his pro day. He was just laissez-faire. Will Levis does it. Oh, he's too mechanical. He's not loose. Yeah. It's like, what do y'all want? Do you want the guy to be loose and free, or do you want him to be he's too muscular to be good. He's too jacked up. Have you seen JRich? He's a walking tank at 246. The dude, I'm looking at him like that is a physical specimen right there. But neither here nor there, Jay. I think that the draft truly starts at the 3rd pick with the Arizona Cardinals. What they do with that pick, followed by Indianapolis at 4. Seems like Seattle is very open to a quarterback. But in this mock, no quarterback goes to the Seahawks. All right, we spent 30 minutes on Will Levis and Malik Willis and the Tennessee Titans. Per this mock, Will Levis does not go 4 to the Colts. He goes 7 to the Raiders, which, good spot. Jimmy Garoppolo's essentially on like a 1-year deal. I know it's a 3-year contract, but it's really like an out after this season. So you got Will Levis to the Las Vegas Raiders. You scroll down a little bit, thank God, no Bijan to Philadelphia. Then we get JS into the Houston Texans, pairing him with Bryce Young. Seems to be most people's wide receiver 1 in this class. He's out. Yeah. My wide receiver 1, is he yours?
Yeah.
All right, wide receiver 1, there you go. JS into the Houston Texans would be a high first-round pick in all formats for fantasy football. Scroll down the mock a little bit. Pittsburgh getting some offensive line help. Good for Kenny Pickett. Good for Najee Harris. And then we get to this pick right here, Jay. Good Lord.
Bam.
Whoo! Talk to me, Jay.
Los Angeles Chargers select Bijan Robinson, running back out of Texas. And Ray, it's interesting because Reid also put some notes in here when he was at the Combine. He said that Bijan could be a surprise where he ultimately goes, and he referenced also Austin Eckler requesting a trade. Still feels like it'd be a bit of a stretch, but at this point, Ray, it doesn't. Anywhere you mock Bijan, you're like, well, he could go there, but he's probably not. It feels like you say that it doesn't matter where you put him. Well, he could go there, but probably not. At 21, I don't think it's a reach. I mean, the fit would be tremendous, right? They got rid of Lombardi. They bring in a stud running back. I mean, Isaiah Spiller, trade him away for a 4th. You don't need him anymore. It's a great fit. Playing it with Justin Herbert would be great.
Man. Yeah, and people forget that whole offensive line unit was so banged up last year. Rashawn Slater was hurt early.
Slater was
mix and match at the offensive line position. This would be, listen, you're in a division where you got to deal with Mahomes. You got to deal with the new look Broncos with Sean Payton. You've got to deal with the new look Raiders. I mean, they got to score points. It would be
the 101?
What'd you say?
Would he be the 101 on the Chargers? Locked in?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
It'd be hard. I mean, Eckler's led the league in touchdowns, what, 2 years in a row?
You know who their OC is, right? Remember who the OC that they got?
Your boy, Kellen Mond.
Kellen Moore.
Not Kellen
Mond. Not Kellen Mond. Kellen Moore. Bijan to the Chargers, I think that'd be a smash pick. Now it's about to get interesting, Jay, because we've got some wide receivers coming off of the board. Baltimore and Quentin Johnston, Minnesota and Jordan Addison. Love Jordan Addison to Minnesota. I think he is a phenomenal complement to Justin Jefferson. And I think a fit like a player like Addison in Minnesota would be good for everybody. It'd be good for Hawkinson. It'd be good for Justin Jefferson. You pull some of that safety attention away from what Justin commands. You help free some stuff up, put Hawkinson in one-on-one situations. Addison as the number 2. I think that's what he should be in the NFL, is a good number 2 wide receiver. Think a little Devontae Smith to A.J. Brown with Jordan Addison. And I'm not saying you get that type of 2022 Smitty production from Addison in year 1, but the roles and the way they complement one another, I think it'd be a great fit. QJ to Baltimore, I'm starting to get just a little. The TCU fear is starting to creep into old GQ's body right now. I'm starting to
You weren't gonna let it get to you.
Bit, Jay.
You weren't gonna let it get to you.
I said I wasn't gonna let it get to me. F that. You scout the player, not the helmet. Oh, yada yada. Then he goes to pro day and he's dropping passes left and right. Jay.
Yep.
Pro day. No defenders.
Nobody
You're
there?
in shorts and a t-shirt, and they're saying he's dropping the damn ball all. Oh, I'm just like. Bro, catch it.
Yep.
It's pro day.
No first-round corners, no SEC guys,
Jay,
no Big 12 corners.
I'm not even trying to overreact, dude. I'm just like, come on, man. Catch the fucking ball at pro day, dog. Like, it's pro day. Catch it. And the reports are he dropped multiple passes during the session, but the two worst of the ones that he dropped were deep passes from Matt. I'm just like, QJ, This is why some people are hesitant, right? Because it's all over the tape. It's all over the tape. The hands are suspect. And you go out there in a pro day and just
you got to be perfect.
I'm starting to feel that TCU scare starting to come into me. But he gets this type of capital. First round pick, no doubt.
He's behind everybody in this cluster. Don't lie. Because, well, you're right. Addison would be a great fit in Minnesota. QJ to Baltimore is the easiest fate of my life. I don't really want him on my roster anyways. And then you get 25 to the Giants. You have Zay Flowers. Back in the first round for this mock, Mr. Reid has him there, which is great. Ray, how do you feel about that?
Well, real quick, and I got to give Addison Hayes from DLF some shout out, right? I got to shout out Addison Hayes. What's really scaring me, Jay, is a lot of the Quentin Johnston comps are AJ Green, DeAndre Hopkins. Addison Hayes got on Twitter and he said that the comparison that he sees to Quentin Johnston is no other than Brashard Perryman. And I cannot get it out of my head. Now I'm just like, fuck, he's Brashard Perryman, man.
It's the dreads.
All right, let's go. Zay Flowers to the Giants. Love it, Jay.
Love it. Great fit.
Love it.
Keep giving Daniel Jones these quick, agile receivers.
Tiny,
get out of his hands quickly.
No catch radius.
Work down the field.
Give it to him.
That's
I
fine.
like him. I love the pick, though.
I'll take it.
I love man. Think about an offense. Zay Flowers, Sterling Shepard, Isaiah Hodgins,
Jamison Crowder,
Darius
Wan'Dale
Slayton,
Robinson. Slot gods over there.
It's like the eighth grade varsity, eighth grade JV just dream at wide receiver, just size-wise, just dream. Kalijah Kancey to Dallas, I like it. Just want to say that. I like it for my Cowboys. And as we scroll down the board, we get Michael Mayer, tight end out of Notre Dame to the New Orleans Saints, and that wraps up round 1. Mayer to the Saints, I like it for Derek Carr. Think it'd be good for Derek Carr. Think it'd be good for Michael Mayer. They need another pass catcher.
Bad for Juwan Johnson, though.
Listen, I get it. I like Juwan, too, but Juwan wouldn't stop me from drafting Michael Mayer. But, Tater said, is dread scouting worse than helmet scouting? We do it all the time.
Maybe not.
Who's the running back a couple of years ago? They were comping to Melvin Gordon because he wore 25 and had dreads. Who was it? God, I can't even think of the name. But yeah, the dread scouting is a real thing. But Perriman cut his hair. So, he didn't have dreads anymore. So, all right, let's scroll down to round 2, man. Round 2 of Reid's mock, Jay.
Your Raiders.
My Raiders. Who do we get? Let's keep scrolling, and here we go. Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid, tight end out of Utah. Listen, still dealing with some kind of back injury. I don't know, man. I feel like Dallas is going to pick him. It just feels like if there's an injured player, they're on Dallas's board.
Straight to the top.
Yeah, straight to the top of the board. You got Josh Downs, who's slowly a little bit of I think quickly a riser, not even slowly, quickly being a riser throughout his strong pro day performance. By all accounts, it was spectacular. Josh Downs to the Carolina Panthers. Jay, this would be a nice fit for C.J. Stroud. I think this would be a good little pairing. You get C.J. Stroud another weapon. You got Marshall. You got Thielen. You got some veterans there. I like it. I like it for Downs, all right? We scroll down a little bit, and Mike Vrabel just gets even more upset because they draft Tennessee wide receiver Jalen Hyatt here at the top of the second round, Jay, for the Tennessee Titans, who potentially could trade. I don't know what. Tennessee needs to pick a direction quickly.
They are purgatory.
Quickly. All right. What else do we have, Jay? Green Bay. What a fit. What a fit.
Huge.
You get rid of one Mercedes Lewis, and then you just get in a younger version of Mercedes Lewis. Green Bay Packers select Darnell Washington as a top 50 pick here at 45. And to be honest with you, I'd like it for Jordan Love, who's going to be a young quarterback, young starter. You get him a massive, massive target, security blanket, safety outlet in the tight end position. I think this is a sneaky spot for Darnell Washington. I kind of like it, Jay. Kind of like it, my man. All right. Talk to us, Jay, about this pick right here by the Dolphins.
Ray, I've been excited about this pick for a long time. We don't get it very often, but the Miami Dolphins selecting Jahmyr Gibbs is pretty much the best landing spot we could ask for Jahmyr Gibbs. Runs that zone scheme so well. He would be great in it. One cut and go. Gibbs would be phenomenal. There's a ton of running backs there, but Gibbs would be by far the best. He'd win that job outright, in my opinion. Second round pick. Ray, how high would he go, though? We have JSN in the first round, 12 overall to Houston. We have a pretty damn good landing spot in Miami back of the second. I'm assuming you wouldn't take him over him, but would you take him over all the receivers behind Jackson Smith and Jigba?
Yes.
Yes. So over Addison, definitely over QJ, like we mentioned, over Zay Flowers.
Yes. I think realistically, man, if I'm being real, and I'm not saying that's what I would do, but if I'm playing the market, I think people would take him over Will Levis. I think some people would take him over Levis.
Yeah, I think some people would take him over Levis. Probably half of leagues, I could see that happening for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think some people would take him over Levis, no doubt.
A phenomenal fit, though. Phenomenal. It's just what he does well in his skill set would be so good in Miami. And they catch a decent amount of passes, too, which is a little bit underrated about the Miami backfield. We always, we don't want Jeff Wilson. We don't want some of these guys, but they catch passes and they do well in that offense and they score touchdowns and they're a great team. So you'd want that. And I think, as high as 6th overall, probably in Superflex rookie drafts, pretty easily for those guys. But Ray, I did want to ask you about the tight ends because we have Mayer in New Orleans, Kincaid in Vegas, and Darnell in Green Bay. How would you rank those guys?
Who was the first one again? Mayer in New Orleans. Joe just hit us with Darnell had an official visit, top 30 visit with the Packers, which...
Ooh. If the Packers don't take a tight end in rounds 1 or 2, it would probably be the biggest whiff of the draft community. Every single mock has them taking a tight end in either round 1 or round 2. Every single one. It's crazy.
Let's get some more tight ends off the board before we play that game. I want to think about it a little bit more. Gibbs to Miami would be phenomenal, though, Jay. Another tight end. You talked about it. Luke Musgrave, tight end out of Oregon State, goes to the Los Angeles Chargers. So there you go. There's your tight end one right there for fantasy. People would be all over Musgrave to the Chargers.
You think so?
I think so. I think people would be like, I will bet on Justin Herbert in that offense.
Yeah.
Hendon Hooker to Detroit. Now, what's interesting about this, Reid is tapped in, but more and more reports are coming out, Jay, that Hendon is not getting out of the first round. But if he fell to Detroit at 55, Jay, is this a spot where you would take him in the back of the first of a second round quarterback? You taking him in the first round?
Absolutely. I would take him even potentially higher than at the very back. Once you get, honestly, Ray, I can make the case for taking him over QJ. Pretty easily. If you don't love the landing spot for Baltimore and you don't love QJ.
Why do you hate the Baltimore? What has Baltimore done to you? Why do you dislike this landing spot? They got a new OC.
Let me ask you one question. What has Baltimore done for us in fantasy?
That was Greg Roman's
What have they done for
Baltimore.
Lamar Jackson?
That was Greg Roman's Baltimore.
Okay, so I'm supposed to project good things on the horizon for Baltimore. I don't want to do that. It's
That's
still the
what we
same
do, though.
organization, same philosophy. I don't know if it's going to change. It might. Maybe Monken can change it, but I'm not going to project a massive swing in what they do. Either way, I think there's a very good case. You could take him over RB3, right? I think you could take him potentially over wide receiver 4 or 5. Like, I think he could be a top 10 pick potentially. And Ray, we've talked about it. Detroit is the landing spot for any quarterback. If a quarterback goes to Detroit, it is a home run. And if he goes in the second round, I'm assuming Goff is gone next year if they take him in the second round, and I think Hooker can beat him out on that rookie deal, would give them tons of cap flexibility. You'd have to take him high. You'd be forced to, because he would be great in that offense. With Jameson Williams, with Amon-Ra St. Brown, they could add more weapons potentially in the draft and in free agency with that contract from Goff being gone. How do you feel about Hooker, and would you take him in the top 10 in rookie drafts?
I'm not a big Hooker fan, but
okay.
I'm not going to ignore this landing spot. I think it's the best landing spot for a quarterback in this freaking draft, man. Like, I really do. They've got talent on the offensive line. They've got talents at the receiving weapons. They have running back options. All they're really missing is a dynamic tight end. So it's just funny because we say any quarterback in round 1, and then after that choose, like, just kind of it's up for grabs. I don't know if
60.
I would feel good about doing it in the first round, but if Hooker's a first round pick, that changes the equation a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Change the equation a little bit more. All right.
Yeah.
Let's scroll down a little bit. I like this for Dallas. Steve Avila, just good for the running game. Another freaking tight end hits a...
I love the value here. Love it.
Great landing spot. Will a tight end ever be the focal point of a Cincinnati Bengals offense? No. That's
absolutely not.
That's Jamar Chase as T. Higgins. But could Sam Laporta eventually turn into just an efficient, low-cost option in a great offense? Absolutely. So while I wouldn't rush to catapult him over some of the other tight ends that were already drafted, I would be very interested to get some Sam Laporta maybe a little bit later. I like it. I like it a lot. Again, will he ever be the focal point of that offense? I highly doubt that. But I think he could be a good, efficient asset. He's athletic. He's got a lot of talent, and he's on a great offense with a great quarterback. So I wouldn't be mad at Sam Laporta to Cincinnati, and they need one. I know Irv Smith signed there. I don't have high hopes there with that one. Hopefully he can pull it together, but I would really like Sam Laporta to the Bengals. Jay, you know I love this receiver,
You've been
man.
waiting for this
I love
one.
him. I love him. I love him. I love him. Marvin Mims, the Philadelphia, to replace Quez Watkins, who not very good, all right? Not very good. Very fast, not very good receiver. You add Marvin Mims as the third option to Philly for fantasy, probably not much, because it's A.J. Brown, it's Smitty, it's Hurts,
That's the
it's
problem,
Goddard.
right?
Then it's Marvin Mims at 5. But if you're a fan of Philly and just what this could do for the offense in general, you got to think about this, man. Every move that a team makes might not be directly impactful for you and your players' fantasy production, but as the collective, you add a player like Marvin Mims to this offense, it helps everybody else out, Jay. It helps out Smitty. It helps out AJ. It helps out Dallas Goedert. It helps out the running game. Love the fit for Marvin Mims. Would this be the best fantasy situation for him? Hell no. It ain't, because he's the fifth option, right? The fourth option at best. Fifth option, probably the reality of the
51 targets
situation.
last year for Quez Watkins.
How many?
51.
Yeah, I mean...
That's not great. 136 for Smitty, and he was number 2, so 145 for AJ. I think there is room for AJ and Smitty to come down a little bit, but yeah, 51 targets for Quez Watkins is not great. I think the problem, Ray, is as much as I like Mims, I would probably fade him in drafts because he would go too high.
Probably.
And I love the fit. I love the team, but I don't think he's beating out Smitty or AJ for targets. I think Goddard's going to get his. He only had 69 in 12 games last year. So, I mean, he would be drafted high in rookie drafts, but I probably wouldn't get a ton of shares because realistically, he's a best ball asset for us.
Fair. All right, let's kick into round 3. Now, round 3, this is the last round of day 2. So this is still day 2 capital for these players in round 3. And let's pop it off with Tucker Kraft to Tennessee. Again, Titans.
Tennessee loading up.
just loading up on weapons for that new coach. Tucker Kraft to the Tennessee Titans, day 3 capital. The Atlanta Falcons add a speed weapon to that offense with Kyle Pitts and Drake London. In Cincinnati, wide receiver Tyler Scott. Cedric Tillman to the New England Patriots, wide receiver out of Tennessee. I like it. Kind of like Devontae Parker a little bit. Sort of like, he's kind of like Devontae Parker. So a younger version of Devontae Parker.
And Reid pumped him to Gabe Davis.
Yep, there
which
it
I think,
is.
again,
Gabe
is another
Davis.
good fit.
Gabe Davis. So you want to go down the field. Mac Jones wants to push the ball downfield.
Yep.
Cedric Tillman to New England. We know they need wide receiver help. You've got Rashee Rice to the Los Angeles Rams. Jordan Reid, the wide receiver out of Michigan State, to the Green Bay Packers. Then we scroll down this mock a little bit more. We've got another tight end to the Miami Dolphins. Luke Schoonmaker, the tight end out of Michigan, goes to Miami here at the back of the 3rd round. And Tank Bigsby to the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 3rd round, Jay. And then here's the big one.
Whoa!
The Dallas Cowboys select UCLA running back Zach Charbonnet here at the back of the 3rd. Jay, no Zeke Elliott. Tony Pollard, fractured ankle.
Yep.
Ronald Jones.
Oh,
Malik
boy.
Davis.
Oh, no.
Zach Charbonnet.
I think I see a clear bell cow, Ray. I think I see a 250, 300 touch guy right out the gate.
I see opportunity. I see a
think you can
lot
take
of
it.
opportunity. I love it. Would you take him over? Here's the
This is
pressure
Hooker.
point, Jay. QJ, first round pick, top 20. No, listen. Listen. QJ, top 20 pick in the NFL draft. Would you
Top
take
23 pick, I believe.
a 3rd round running back over any of the wide receivers in round 1? You got Quentin Johnston, Jordan Addison.
You just mentioned him. I would absolutely do it. Absolutely. Without hesitation. This is a landing spot that we want. This is one of the few running back landing spots we actually want is available to us. We have to take it, right? How does he not see 250 touches? I mean, we both like Rashad Bateman. We both like Mark Andrews. We don't even know if Lamar Jackson's going to be there. He requested a trade. I get the 1st round wide receiver theory, but if I don't think he's any good, I mean, why am I taking him over Zach Charbonnet, who I know is talented, who I know is going to get work, which is really the important thing here. If QJ isn't the number 1 target, is he going to be viable for fantasy? I don't know. I still think Bateman's more talented than he is. I would happily take Charbonnet over him. I don't think it's a crazy take. I understand if you want to just lean on your process and take that 1st round wide receiver, but if you want the touches and production, you're probably going to be wanting to take Charbonnet in Dallas over QJ in Baltimore.
Man, a lot of people agree with you. Mike Anderson, Rico, they're saying they would take Charbonnet. It's interesting. I think this is a great landing spot for him. I do think he's on Dallas's radar. What about Bigsby in Jacksonville? Just really quickly, a player that I had graded, I believe, is top 6 film for me was Tank. I love his tape. People forget Auburn was just a shit show from top to bottom. Tank to Jacksonville, I think, is a good fit, a good complement with ETN. Charbonnet to Dallas. My theory is I don't think Dallas is going to pay Tony Pollard after this year, Jay. I think they've got him on the franchise tag. They'll let him ball out. He'll be going on 27 years old into next season, not this upcoming season, but the season after. I don't think
who
they're
they
going to pay
want,
him.
right?
What'd you say?
You know who the Cowboys really want, right?
Who?
You know who Jerry Jones wants, right?
Who?
He wants Rocket Sanders. You know he wants Rocket Sanders.
Oh yeah, he wants. But come on, man. They better not be planning for freaking Arkansas running back a year out. I would love to fit Charbonnet, be a locked-in first-rounder. I think people would propel him even a little bit higher, and I can see him going over some of the wide receivers who it seems like every day that this process goes on, people hate the wide receiver class more and more for 2023. Sure. You see a lot of people being down on this wide receiver class. All right, Jay. A.T. Perry, your boy, to the Kansas City Chiefs. Then we have Tajay Spears to the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the A.T. Perry fit. I think having that outside threat for them would be good. I mean, that's where he's succeeded, right? They don't need anybody to come into the slot and work there. They have guys that do that. Having a guy who just plays exclusively outside would be good for Mahomes if he can succeed out there. I think it's a good fit. I like Tajay in Washington, but how does he fit in with Gibson still there and B-Rob probably getting carries? Like, I don't know if he's going to outright win the job. They probably just split.
It's not a doubt in my mind, there would be a clear difference between him getting the ball and Brian Robinson. I could guarantee you from snap one, and the untrained eye can look at both of them taking outside zone, stretch zone play, and be like, oh shit, who's 22? Who's that guy? Like, I think it would be very, very obvious. But the problem is, B-Rob is there, and Brian Robinson is the new.
He's going nowhere.
He is the new just volume gobbler that gives you little yards. I mean, but he can handle 20 attempts, man. You can just turn around and give B-Rob. And to B-Rob's credit, man, the dude played after getting shot in the ass, man. Got shot in the ass and the knee and was able to play in the NFL as a rookie. So hopefully we'll see a better version of him in 2023. But there'd be no doubt that Spears would look like the more explosive option immediately. But you know what? Gibson looked pretty explosive last year too, and they still chose not to use him. So
still didn't play.
We'll see. Spears in the third, I think, would be a nice spot. Got Trey Palmer, wide receiver out of Nebraska, going to Cleveland to be a field stretcher for Deshaun Watson, and you've got with the final pick in the third round, Devon Achane, and San Francisco does it again. They take another running back, late day 2, round 3 to sit behind CMC. But we all know Elijah Mitchell will get hurt. Tyrion Davis-Price probably isn't any good. Achane to San Francisco is what?
Fine, I guess. Like, it's a great spot, but Christian McCaffrey is going to be the running back to own there. If Mitchell gets hurt, maybe he sees some work. He just feels like he's going to be a return guy, don't you think? I don't know, like, if I would even draft him in the second round because it's just, I mean, maybe you have to because it's San Francisco, but I just feel like he'd be overdrafted. But, I mean, the thing is with now, Ray, is that we're so used to not having clarity at running back for San Francisco. Now it's there. Like, we know it's Christian McCaffrey, and we know it's probably Elijah Mitchell if Christian McCaffrey gets hurt. So, I mean, at what point does he even see the field outside of returning and maybe the odd play here or there? I'm just not really sure how he fits into this offense.
He's not going to see. I don't think he'd see the field much at all outside of some specialty gadget type stuff. But I think the fit is fine. I think if he could work out some, I mean, here's the thing, Jay. Realistically, it's Christian freaking McCaffrey is there. So as long as CMC's on the field, you're not like
he's never going to play. Never.
No.
Never. And Elijah Mitchell's good enough that he shouldn't play over Mitchell.
You're right. He's fighting for RB3 spot. He's fighting for RB3 duties, right?
He's fighting with TDP and whoever else is back there.
Jordan Mason is still there. Yeah. And all of those guys are much different than him, right? He compares, and I'm using air quotes when I say that, more favorably to Christian McCaffrey. So I don't think he'd be a threat to Mason because Mason's a big body. He's a pounder, right? Like that's not what Achane's going to be able to do. So you're truly betting on a lot of things have to fall right for Achane to actually be a viable week-to-week starter. The spot looks good. I think it might be a little bit of a trap because you'll be like, Achane and Frisco, but reality is he's probably not. He's the last pick in the third round. So San Francisco probably like, fuck it, I'll just take him here and we'll see, you know? All right, let's go round 4, Jay, and kind of rapid fire through these. Oh, we're doing good on time. Let's see some ones that we like. We've got Michael Wilson, a fast riser out of Stanford, has had a phenomenal pre-draft process going to the Atlanta Falcons. Tank Dell, wide receiver from Houston to the New Orleans Saints. Zach Kuntz, the dynamic Old Dominion tight end to the Washington Commanders. Oh, boy. The Vikings, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR. Jay?
Kellen Mond 2.0.
Can you see it already? Do we?
Oh, yeah. Right.
I know Zimmer's not there.
I see him in practice every day.
I know Zimmer's not there, but can't you just see Kevin O'Connell? Are we going to get a chance to see DTR this week? No. Why not? I see him every day.
I see him in practice every day.
DTR, I like DTR, man. I've been a fan of DTR. He's from Vegas, so I got to rep the hometown, man. But Minnesota, we'll see, man. The 4th round DTR in Minnesota, I don't know.
And Reid said it was his favorite team fit was DTR to the Vikings with Kirk being on an expiring contract. And again, but It just feels like Kellen Mond all over again, but different regime, different coach. Maybe they can figure it out. I was surprised, though. We haven't seen DTR in any mocks, so surprised to see him this high. He's over McKee, which is
Jordan gave us a gift by giving us 7 rounds. So
he did.
Now we've got some fun here. The Chiefs take Roschon Johnson. Right after that, the Seahawks take Parker Washington. Right after that, the Ravens take Kenny McIntosh. And then after Terrell Smith goes, Kendre Miller goes to the Cleveland Browns. So Roschon to Kansas City, Parker Washington to Seattle, Kenny McIntosh to Baltimore, and Kendre Miller to Cleveland. Jay, what will the fantasy community do? Cody Carpentier's in the building. Cody has been driving the Roschon Johnson hype train. He goes to Kansas City. You get our guy, Kendre, to Cleveland.
Yep.
How we feeling about these spots for these running backs, man?
I mean, Kendre would be fine. He'd have to work behind Nick Chubb, which kind of sucks. But, I mean, he'd still be viable for fantasy if he did get an opportunity. And then you have Roschon. I mean, he would fly up boards. He'd probably be, a mid-second at worst?
At worst.
Because, I mean, it's just, this is the Kansas City bump. This is the world we live in, people. If a player goes to Kansas City, they're going up. Like, it doesn't matter where they've been or where they were taken. He'll be probably a mid-second. And I think the better part, Ray, is that there is actually a world where he could kind of fit into that JRich McKinnon role. Like, their comps probably aren't quite similar because McKinnon's a little bit faster than he is. But you talk about pass pro, catching pass out of the backfield, limited touches. A guy who the coaching staff would probably love, who can play on special teams, do all these different things, like very versatile. Roschon would be great for Kansas City because he could fill a couple holes on a team that is desperate because they have many high-paid players, right? I think Roschon would probably be the guy of all of them. Kenny in Baltimore, like, I guess because of Munkin, that's really the connection that maybe, but again, they don't, if Lamar's there, he doesn't throw to running back. So good luck seeing him do anything. And then you have Parker Washington to Seattle. I don't hate it. If Lockett leaves, maybe there's more opportunity for him, but I'm a little bit more interested in Jonathan Mingo down there, but we haven't got to him yet.
What about Kendre in Cleveland? You just skipped over our boy Kendre, man.
He's behind Nick Chubb, so he's not going to get opportunity unless Nick gets hurt. And maybe he spells him a little bit, but even I think it's Nick Chubb's backfield right now. Kendre would probably work in a little bit, catch some passes, but he's probably a late second, maybe, because opportunity isn't quite there for him, and he's still a 4th-round pick. So it's tough. It's tough to figure out where I'd value him right now. But
Kendre's going to be the new Kareem Hunt for them. He'll be the Hunt role.
Hopefully.
Chubb's 27.
Do you think they would give him that much goal line work?
No,
because that was the thing, that Hunt got a lot of goal line work, and that's where his value came from.
No, he won't take that away from Nick Chubb now. But I do like Roschon to KC. I think you hit the nail on the head. You turn on the tape from Iowa State. If anybody wants to see a clinic on pass protection from the running back position, turn on Texas Iowa State 2022, and Roschon Johnson put on a clinic. I think he'd be a welcome option to that Kansas City rushing attack. It'd be a two-handed monster. Pacheco being the early down guy. Roschon working his way in at some point to be that third down pass catching option, pass protector for Patrick Mahomes. I love Kendre to Cleveland. I think it's a smash fit. May have to wait a year, but I think it's a great spot for him. The Dallas Cowboys take tight end Brenton Strange. I learned about him the other day. Didn't know much about him. He's athletic. He's from Penn State, so I'll take a shot. Your boy, Jonathan Mingo, to the Buffalo Bills, Jay. Mingo is starting to get more and more and more and more hype and steam. There you go. Yeah, your boy Mingo. You've been all over him since the Senior Bowl. You loved him there, and you've continued to pump him up. So Mingo to Buffalo. They need pass catchers. So you add him to the mix of Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, Khalil Shakir.
Bye Gabe Davis. Bye Gabe Davis. We're getting a real receiver in Buffalo now, and Jonathan Mingo. But yeah, Ray, it's funny. But honestly, like no jokes aside, people tag me on Twitter about Jonathan Mingo posts every day. Every day, multiple tweets a day. JRich, look at this. This guy's got... Because, again, he's a riser. And he's big. He's athletic. He's faster than I expected. He can catch passes. He has great hands. He has got good footwork. Like, a lot of good things to like. And I'm curious to see how he slots in. But even in the 4th round, ahead of the next pick, Carolina Panthers, it's like Kayshon Boutte, right? How would you feel about Boutte there? We have Downs going there. We have Stroud going there. But Thielen, DJ Shark, not a ton of competition in terms of the alpha being there. Is there any world where Kayshon Boutte could be the alpha in Carolina after this season if, this draft played out the way it did?
I mean, I think that's an incredible reach to go that far right now.
That's the people are going to ask. You know,
Then
it
I
would
would
come.
then
There's
my answer
nobody
would
there,
be
right?
my answer would be like, sure, maybe, but that's not the realistic outcome that I'm hoping for. I just want him to make the roster and be on the 53 and play. I
Do you think
it'd
he
be a
would
battle.
be? Where do you think he would be drafted? Because I think the problem is,
I mean, look, we're
that
in round
landing
4,
spot?
man. A round 4 Boutte. There's no guarantee.
Would he go in the second round of rookie drafts?
I would not advise that.
I wouldn't do it either.
No,
But I think
he's a
people
third-round
would.
rookie
That's the
pick.
problem.
Yeah, he's a 3rd-round rookie pick. I think it's okay, but New England gets a steal in Noah Sewell here at the back of the 4th. I like that for the Patriots. So let's go down to the 5th round and just run through these really quickly. Xavier Hutchinson kicks it off to the Chicago Bears. Zach Evans to Denver. Jay, we got Zach Evans to Denver. Eric Gray to the New Orleans Saints. Tanner McKee to the Seattle Seahawks. Ronnie Bell to the Chargers. Chase Brown to the Giants. Cam Latu to the Texans. Dontavius Wicks, wide receiver out of Virginia, to the Colts. Sean Tucker here in the 5th round to the Cincinnati Bengals. Israel Abanikanda, and we didn't have a chance to talk about Izzy Abanikanda, but at his pro day, 5'11", 217 pounds, reports of a 40-yard dash ranging from anywhere from 4.26 to 4.41, 40-inch plus vertical jump. Izzy is a dude. Love him. He was the first prospect in the Destination Devy Discord community in which we did a film session on. He's going to be the youngest running back in the NFL the moment he's drafted. I love Izzy, and I like the fit to the Rams, man. I think that's a sneaky spot in the 5th round. You can I'd be okay with pushing the trigger on Izzy at the back of the 2nd. I'm
okay.
I want a piece of some Abanikanda, man. I want some.
Him
Izzy
and Akers is a dynamic backfield. That would be a really good backfield, even though the team is going to be awful.
Think it would be the team is going to be awful. It's going to be awful. The Rams also get Jake Haener just because they know that back issue is going to flare up from Matthew Stafford at some point because they must collapse for Caleb Williams. So you got to get that Jake Haener to back up old Matthew Stafford. Payne Durham, the big tight end out of Purdue, to the San Francisco 49ers. Trey Tucker to Tampa Bay. And that rounds out the 5th round, Jay. What do you think? And remember, Zach Evans to Denver. Jordan Reid said it's his favorite team fit in round 5. Javonte Williams' knee injury still kind of messed up. Zach Evans to Denver. What do you think?
I really like it. I think he is a guy who could earn touches pretty early on early downs if Javonte is not available. Right, we know P. Ryan's there. He may just assume third down duties. And if Evans was drafted, even though it's a 5th round pick, the problem is that where would he ultimately be drafted in rookie drafts? Maybe a little higher than I'd like, but I wouldn't mind taking a couple shots because, again, Ray, community loves this guy. And in some leagues where you know people love him, you're going to want to take a shot in a spot like this where he could earn opportunity early, and then you just trade him away. You trade him for a 24 first or a 24 second and, some other stuff. I think there is a world where he could be viable for fantasy. And I think, the same type of things of Eric Gray, right? They take Eric Gray. Kamara suspended the first 6 games. Eric Gray could be on the field earlier than we expect.
Well, we don't know.
We expect him to be suspended.
All right.
Is kind of where I'm at with that, right? Chase Brown behind Saquon Barkley. Okay, that's fine. Do you feel any way about the receivers? I mean, I like Hutch on the Bears. There could be opportunity there, but again, low volume. Man.
Fifth round receivers.
We're not looking at receivers here, but Izzy is phenomenal. Him and Akers in the backfield, as bad as the rest of the team may be, that would be pretty damn good. And Akers was really good down the stretch. So if you had both those guys there, they could actually be pretty decent.
Rico said, could Chase Brown be the next man up in New York in 24? I don't think so. I don't think he's that type of running back. I don't think he's that type of back. I don't think he's that type of back.
Maybe, but I doubt it.
All right, let's go to round 6, Jay. Let's go to round 6 and just see what we have. Cardinals take Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua. I like Puka Nacua. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers get Aiden O'Connell, quarterback out of Purdue. We got Davis Allen, the tight end out of Tennessee, to Detroit. Matt Landers, the speedster out of Arkansas, to the Patriots. What a Patriots pick in Matt Landers. Bryce Ford Wheaton to the Jacksonville Jaguars at 185. What else do we have? Charlie Jones, the wide receiver.
Next Cooper Kupp.
The next Cooper Kupp, Wes Welker, Julian Edelman.
Yep.
Who else do we have? What other receivers can we comp?
Wes Welker.
I said Wes Welker. Danny Amendola.
Yep.
There's not a common theme here with Charlie Jones and those receivers we comped him to. But he doesn't go to New England. Charlie Jones goes to the Rams. So Jaron Hall to the New England Patriots, disgusting. Jaden Hazelwood, wide receiver out of Arkansas, to Detroit. Tampa Bay gets Dwayne McBride, keeping the UAB home. Yeah, Hunter Renfrow, forgot. Real gym rat.
Oh, yes.
That's right. There we go. Real gym rat. Tampa, and I love me some Charlie Jones. I like him. Tampa Bay, Dwayne McBride, keeping the kid in, well, that's not UAB. I was thinking UCF. UAB. We're not going to keep him in Florida. Alabama is not in Florida. Yeah.
Last time I checked. But it's a good fit, though. I do like it. Him and Rashad White would be a good pairing, assuming he gets those first and second down duties.
Jay, Deuce Vaughn to the Houston Texans.
Sure.
Yeah.
Does it get you going at all?
No,
not really.
They're
really.
Terrible. Dallas Cowboys take Clayton Tune, quarterback out of Houston. Raheem Jarrett, wide receiver out of Maryland, to the Raiders. And Shaq Davis, South Carolina State wide receiver, to the Kansas City Chiefs. Jay, let's finish it up. The Chiefs take Will Mallory in the 7th. Somehow Dynasty Gamers will find a way to put him in the 3rd round of a rookie draft because Kansas City drafted him. Mo Ibrahim to Philly. Chris Rodriguez, the running back out of Kentucky, to the Las Vegas Raiders. We also have Keaton Mitchell, a dynamic East Carolina running back, to Atlanta. Josh Wiley, tight end from Cincinnati, to Jacksonville. The Saints take two-time national champ Stetson Bennett here in the 7th round. Green Bay gets Justin Shorter. Are there any names of players that we really like?
Evan Hall to Green Bay?
Who's that?
Evan Hall to Green Bay?
Oh, where's that at? I missed Evan Hall.
242.
Where's Hall to Green Bay? Oh, right here. Yeah, I hadn't gotten down
and
to
then Jalen Cropper?
Jalen Cropper to
Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh. Yeah. Andre Iasovis, wide receiver out of Princeton, to San Francisco. Elijah Higgins. I kind of like this one, Jay. I kind of like.
Higgins.
I know it's 7th round. I kind of like Elijah Higgins to San Francisco. He's probably going to be a tight end at the next level. I don't mind it. Green Bay gets Max Duggan, C.J. Johnson, a once Debbie Darling, almost Mr. Irrelevant, falls to the Chicago Bears. And that wraps up Jordan Reid's 7th-round NFL mock. And much like we've continued to talk about on the show, Jay, you see a lot of running backs coming off the board round 4 through round 7. And I think we are going to see that here in a couple of weeks. If this were to shake out, it would just be doing these rookie mocks based on stuff like this. It really kind of lets you know how rocky those picks are after like the mid-3rd. It's just like, you know what I'm saying, man? But
even mid-second, it's tough to separate these guys because there isn't enough factors, whether it's tape, whether it's draft capital, whether it's landing spot, that really separates them. And so it makes it tough. And last year we saw this a lot as well, right? Choosing between Tyler Algier, Zeus White, Damian Pierce, right? All these guys, Tyrion Davis-Price, who got the draft capital. I think that's what's more interesting. And the bigger theme that people need to understand as well, Ray, and we've talked about this a lot, is after round 3, we're not really looking at the wide receivers. We may like them, we may talk about them a little bit, but it's really round 1, round 2, and maybe round 3 for a receiver. We saw like 5 receivers go in round 3, and we didn't talk about them at all. Barely, right? Because they're just not going to be fantasy relevant. But these running backs, it'll be interesting to see how people value them because there was some good landing spots that were late. And it's just, where do we take those shots? 3rd round and beyond in rookie drafts, but where does the community bump the guys that we like versus the guys that we don't, and kind of see how that shakes out overall.
All right, Scott Connor said he wants to do a rookie mock based on this mock. So Wednesday we were going to do a Superflex Underdog mock on the draft on the show. Scott says he wants to do a mock off of this, Jay. He wants to mock off of this.
Scott's just giving me work. I'm going to have to figure out something for Scott this week.
Scott, can you join? Can you do it, Scott?
Oh,
can you
Scott.
jump on? Yeah, since you want to do it.
If he's going to make the change, he better come on the show.
He better come on the show and do it. We'll let the people decide. Y'all want us to do an Underdog Superflex draft, or do you want to mock off of like this foundation, which I think these are the important like mocking on our own is cool to gather the information and get the ADP, right? It is. It's a necessary process. But exercises like this where you take a foundation and say, Ray, it doesn't matter who you like, draft based off of what would actually happen. That's the shit where fire gets on ass, and then you got to make a decision. So I'm down to mock off of this. Dude, we got to start putting this together like now. We got to start putting it together now. I mean, 7 rounds. Good Lord.
Yeah,
right,
we
we'll
can do
get it
that
set
though, for
up.
sure. People seem to be excited for it, so we could definitely do that.
this
If
is a
Scott
good
could join
one.
us, that would be great, since he's now forcing me to do more work. But I think, like you said, Ray, and the good thing is you can always look back to these as well, right? We can look back and say, oh yeah, remember when this guy went here, and see how it was drafted, right? So it's not just, it doesn't have to be, oh well, this is like this and it's going to be completely different, because we don't know who's going to be the closest, and there may be some landing spots we like that we don't like, but it's something you can do the week of the draft. Go back and rewatch some of this stuff with the analysis to prepare yourself, because there's going to be so much content and so much going on that Monday morning after the draft. You may not be able to find all the info that you're looking for, or it may not even all be available from your favorite creators yet. Now, we'll be there Monday morning for you, but it's just about, again, reaction, being prepared for these drafts, because it's not going to go as we expect. It's just not. So the more prepared you are, the better you'll ultimately be when those rookie drafts ultimately come for us.
Yeah, man, Scott's getting crucified, man. They said if he doesn't come on, we've got to block him from the channel. We'll see if Scott can come on. If Scott can't do it, we'll reach out to Carpentier. He's always in here. We'll try to find somebody, so it's not just us. So it's not just us doing this, but we will mock based off of this mock. It's going down. There we go. There we go. It's going down. It's going down. All right, Scott said, all right, let's go. We can go 4 rounds with this bad boy. There it is. Scott Connor, Dynasty and Chill, Destination Dynasty. Jay, what do we have on tap for the people from Destination Devy this week?
So actually, Scott just put out his pod this morning on running backs. He did a deep dive into running backs. There is also a data source that I haven't looked at too closely yet. I forget exactly what the title was, but it was about running backs and about running back value. I think he talked about some value and some WARP data as well. People are always asking us about WARP. Check out Scott's content. Join the Patreon. That's where you'll get all your WARP info. But yes, Scott put out a great pod. I listened to it last night about running backs. So you definitely want to check that out. And then JB is dropping his pod tomorrow, Who's Next, which is going to be based on the prospects, the analytical side. So I'm very excited for that. I haven't put that one together yet, but that will be out tomorrow. Chasing Cody Wednesday, Gene and Nike Thursday, 4D Friday, and America's Game Saturday. Ray, loaded lineup.
We got a lot of stuff coming. Destination Devy draft stream. Just keep telling y'all, because it's going to be lit. We're going to get it popping. It's going to be fun. It's going to be chill vibes. We're going to have good people, good conversation. So make sure your calendar is blocked off for that draft Thursday. Make sure you tap in with us. Jay, this was a good show. We will mock based off of this mock on Wednesday. As always, we appreciate each and everybody tapping in. We got a couple of super chats we got to get to before we get out of here. My man David from across the pond hit us with one. The year is 2035. Super Bowl is played in Germany between the Raiders and the Cowboys. Who is Ray rooting for? Man. Jay, who am I rooting for? Raiders and the Cowboys.
I think you'd be rooting for Vegas.
I would be a cop-out. I'd be like, oh, it doesn't matter. My hometown would win. My childhood. I'd just go with both. Thank you, David.
If the Cowboys haven't won by 2035, I think you'd be just sick of them. You'd be like, oh
dude,
these
my
damn
kid
Cowboys.
be damn near in college. He'd be be getting ready to declare for Major League MLB draft. I mean, come on, what am I doing here, man? If Hooker goes in the first 40 picks, how high does he go in rookie drafts? I mean, we were asking this, David.
I think top 10. Again, but landing spot matters here. Like the Detroit landing spot matters, right? That landing spot definitely matters. But I think you could definitely make the case for top 12.
Shout out to Joe. She was posting a bunch of visit shit in the chat during the show of all the teams that had top 30 visits, and I just know that Dallas, that is an important thing. Like if Dallas is bringing somebody in for a top 30 visit, they're probably going to draft somebody off of that. So, hold on. Is Carpentier trying to get on too? Are we going to have a 4?
Oh, damn.
4 rounds going to be... Cody, are you down? Can we get a 4-way? Can we get a 4-way on Wednesday? I just want to get real freaky. Go 4 ways on Wednesday,
4-way Wednesdays.
Man. With
I
you,
like it.
with Scott, with Cody. Let's do it, baby. Appreciate y'all tapping into the show. Make sure you're locked in on Wednesday. We will be mocking off of this mock. Go be great. Jay, we got to go do the Dynasty Trade Show right now. See what foolishness has hit the Discord. Join the community. Join the squad. Have a great week. We'll see y'all on Wednesday. We out. Peace. Before y'all close off of the video, I just want to say thank you for checking out the content on Destination Devy. Really appreciate every single view that we get. And the only thing that I ask is that you hit the thumbs up button, like the content, subscribe to the channel, and if you can, comment below for the algorithm. Really helps the channel grow. Now, if you want more exclusive access to me and the entire Destination Devy team, Patreon.com/allgas gives you that access. Now, if your money's a little funny, we do have free content for you. Make sure you subscribe to the All Gas newsletter. There's a link in the description of this video below. And subscribe to the Destination Debbie podcast radio feed, where we got all types of shows hitting airwaves every single week. Now, I'm about to let y'all into my home right now so you can see my setup in my media room. You are watching this on my brand new Epson Epic Vision Ultra LS800 projector. Epson came into your boy's crib and hooked me up with this brand new projector in 120-inch Silverflex screen, free of charge. And I'm telling you right now, this has completely changed the way that I watch movies, that I watch sports, that I game. If you want a setup like this that takes up absolutely no space at all, there's a link in the description below. Click that or visit epson.com/wakeup to completely change the way that you watch sports. Go big, go epic, go Epson, baby. Now y'all can get out of here. I appreciate y'all tapping in. It's all gas all the time. I love y'all. I'm out of this thing. Peace.